Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. This is Meena Puri, founder of Ayurvedic Healing Center and Inner Compass Club, an online learning membership portal. So this has been a very eventful week. Astrologically, as you know, there has been full moon, a lunar eclipse, and till the April 8th is the eclipse season. So if you are tuned in to that kind of energy, or if you're a person who's very sensitive to those kind of energies, and if you're just a person who's, living a guided life, then you would have noticed a lot of things happening around you and happening within you. And so that's what it has been for me this whole week. So like I mentioned before, so this Thursday talk is for me to share the insights, the wisdom teachings, the challenges, the nuances of doing the deeper healing work. And this is all Ayurveda. Many times people think that Ayurveda, you're giving now herbs. That's a very small part of it. So Ayurveda really is a study of consciousness. It's a study of evolution, growth. It's a science and art of teaching you how to connect with the part of you that we have become disconnected from, and hence the cause of all suffering. Yes, in the process, you learn naturally how to live in accordance with the nature, your nature. You learn how to eat in according to your nature, your imbalances, and the process is everything. So this is all Ayurveda. My forte is the consciousness work, the evolution, growth, and spirituality work, because I feel that's the root cause. The disconnect is the root cause of all of our ailments. And if we can connect back to who we are, and if we can change where the problems came from, the root cause of disease, if we can address that, then changing lifestyle, diet to live in accordance with the one's higher nature becomes that much more easier. So people struggle with eating right. They think I don't have the right advice, or I don't have the right diet. If only I knew what to do. No, the problem is not that you don't know what to do. Frankly, you don't even need to listen to me to tell you what to do. Yes, specific customized information, you do need to work with somebody, but this information is readily available. The challenge is between the knowing and the doing, the gap. The gap is the work. The gap is the healing. The gap is the connection back to who you are. When we do that, other things, diet, lifestyle, living, they just become easy. So many things came up this week that I think it would be helpful to have a conversation with you and to share with you. And number one, I want to talk about this whole manifestation thing that is very prevalent in the spiritual, in the healing communities. As we are becoming more and more aware, more evolved, we are becoming aware of our multidimensionality, and we are becoming aware of our own power to create the life we desire. I love all of that stuff. But what I see is this technique is better than this technique. If only you do this one thing, you're going to manifest. And so many of the YouTube videos is like, this is manifesting mantra, this one thing that's going to help you to get you where you want to get. So to the novice mind, it's very tempting. It's like, I'm just going to do this one thing. I'm going to do this 3-step process. And I think that's where the trap is. So when we are following a specific process, we get inside our head. As long as we are inside our head, we're not going to manifest anything. Okay. And to call ourselves, I'm a manifester, as opposed to you, I'm a really great manifester. This is another point I want to clarify. People who manifest, actually, they don't even know they're manifesting it. They weren't even trying to manifest it. They don't even call themselves a manifester. The truth is, all of us manifest. The problem has become, although this is all multidimensionality, evolutionary work, we are still doing it with our ego attached to it. We're still doing it in our head. So the manifesting itself, the word implies there's a doing, right? There's a doing that's happening. And most of us think of doing as, I'm doing with my head. I'm doing step 1, step 2, day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm doing all the things. It's the doing. Manifesting is about non-doing. So anytime when I see the word manifest, I don't have a good reaction with it, because I just think a better word is surrendering. Surrendering to what is. In the surrendering, you're surrendering the ego, you're surrendering the deep, intense desiring, you're surrendering the doing. You're surrendering to what you desire. You enjoy having the desire, but you just can't be bothered, right? If the action has to be taken, then it's internally guided. By surrendering, I don't mean to say be complacent. When we are surrendering to one thing, doesn't mean we're not living our life, right? For example, I don't know who the heck is going to watch this. I post on social media. I don't know who even sees it. Most of the time, nobody sees it. But, and I don't necessarily go see who has seen it all the time. But I'm still doing my work. I'm still doing what I'm called to do. Regardless of if somebody sees it or if somebody does here. It's my hope that a lot of people see it, because I think it'll be beneficial for them, but maybe they won't find this information useful or beneficial. I don't know. But I'm still doing my thing, but I'm surrendering the result. So the better word, I think, is surrendering. The part about manifesting that we trip over is being in the waiting room, is allowing, is understanding divine timing, is the letting go part. And we let go in our head. We say, well, I've let go. If you let go, you actually don't even talk about it. You forget about it. You totally forget about it. You totally forget about wanting that. That's a challenge. But that's what's needed. So instead of using the word manifesting, maybe try using the word surrendering. So let's now talk about surrendering. So surrendering, like, do the action, let go of the reaction. Do the action, let go of the fruit. Do what you are called to do. It's for you. You are getting something out of by doing it. Even by me talking, I'm getting clearer in my own mind. And it feels good to have an avenue to share, to express what I'm feeling. And it feels good to have an avenue, a pathway where I can share what I share, what, the kind of the meat of the juice of what goes on during the week, the highlights that might be helpful for you. So now surrendering to what is. So I'm going to talk about that in context with surrendering to and the present moment, the now. Okay. I want to clear a few things in that context as I see them. So surrendering means surrendering to what is. We think that when we surrender, it's just all glorious. Okay. It is glorious, but not in the way you think it is glorious. We surrender to how we are feeling. Sometimes you're just feeling downright shitty. Sorry, couldn't think of any other word. You're just feeling downright angry, upset, pissed off, like nothing is working, nothing is going your way. So when you surrender to that feeling, you don't feel good, but actually you feel much better if you don't surrender to it and pretend that you're feeling something other than you're feeling. If you put the mental layer over what is, mental layer is, oh, don't worry, give it some time, be grateful, look at all the other things that you're not paying attention to. It's not that you can't look at other things that are happening good in your life. But we can't look at that and look at what we are really upset or angry about and negate the two. One doesn't balance the other. These two are separate things. I'm grateful for many, many things. And frankly, I'm pissed off about many things. So I don't want to put mental layer of gratefulness over what I am not so grateful for and pretend that I'm not feeling what I'm feeling. We can never get away from feeling what we are feeling. That's the energy coming up that we have to pay attention to. So when you surrender to something, the part that feels better is that you're not going upstream. Your emotions are not pulling you in one direction and the mind is saying, no, 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 don't feel this way. There's that inner war, that inner conflict that rises. So if you're not feeling so hot, well, that's how you're feeling. How's your day going? It's not so good, right? I feel angry. I feel frustrated. I feel nothing is going my way. I feel like I keep doing all the work. I don't get any rewards. I don't get any result. I tried this. I tried that. Nothing is working. I don't even know what the hell to do anymore. You surrender to that. When you surrender to that, you're not fighting with yourself. The mind isn't fighting with the heart. You're not, this is how you're feeling. But what does that mean? You still are going to do life. You still are going to carry on. This is surrendering. In the carrying on, in stopping the fight, internal fight within yourself, what happens? You save the energy. And when you keep on moving forward, keep on living life anyways, it's not like we can't do life. We have responsibilities, we have things to do. We still keep doing it. In that doing, the energy softens because we're not struggling. If you're feeling anxious, okay, I'm just going to sit and feel anxious. If I'm angry, well, I'm just going to be angry. When you allow the feelings to work themselves out, they actually work themselves out. You feel what you feel. In a shorter amount of time, you begin to feel better and you're doing whatever you were doing. You just carry on with your life. You're not trying to make something happen so intently. When we are so intent on making something happen, we actually choke the life out of it. We're not manifesting. We are actually coming in the way of manifesting. An amazing thing happened. I'll share a story with you. I love singing. I usually sing, Indian music. I love singing. And I'm always trying to find if there's a group, if I can, if I can sing with somebody, if there's something that we can practice towards. And I haven't found it, so I just sing myself. I just enjoy the singing and I forgot about it. Not too long ago, I was inside a community, like what is it called? A community center, because I was looking for an indoor walking track in the cold weather. And there was this sign, they're saying, "Oh, sing with us." And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't sing in English. I sing Indian music. But I took the number anyways, and I thought, well, I'll go check it out. So I go check it out and I'm singing with them, and I started going to practice. You can take, 6 weeks of practice. And if you like it, I didn't know that you can actually join the singing group. I didn't know that. I would just, I'm like, okay, this is fun. I'll come. I love the music, the notes going up and down, how we sing. It was just fun. And then she said, "Oh, you should audition." I said, "Audition for what?" She said, "This is like the group, the Toronto Acolytes. Can you audition?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So I can be like officially part of it." So I auditioned, I got in. I'm the lead singer. I told her I don't sing English music, but this is Toronto Acolytes. This is English music. But so I'm really having fun singing. And I was so kind of baffled because I wanted to be a part of something like this. Yes, it wasn't Indian music, but I enjoy singing nonetheless. And next thing you know, I'm singing for the Toronto Acolytes. So these kind of things, when we are not coming in the way, they happen. But the human mind, we want what we want how we want it, we want when we want it. There's nothing wrong with that, except everything is wrong with that, because it's never going to come the way that you had imagined. It's not going to come in the form or the shape you have imagined. Sometimes it may even be way better than you can ever imagine. So, I remember this saying that universe doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need. Dang. So, um, so that's the, surrendering. So now, Eckhart Tolle comes to mind because his whole teaching about presence and the now moment. And there's another, I feel there's like a misconception. We think that when we pay attention to the now moment, everything is just glorious. Actually, this is how I understand the now moment. So in the now moment, like I just explained, now could be, yes, the sun is shining, the weather is beautiful, warm, cozy home. But the now of, am I exhausted and I'm waiting for something to happen? And how come this client didn't respond? How come this person said, so this is inner world, whatever is going on, that's also the now moment. It's not that the now moment is all glorious. It's just that when we become one with it, we stop the inner fight about it. When the inner fight is no longer there, you feel at peace. So you may feel at peace being really angry. Right? If you're angry, so the now moment, I feel angry. I feel anger. So feel it. When you feel it, there's no opposition to feeling it. There's no denying it. There's no trying to pretend you're not feeling it. There's no how should you be feeling. It just is. I'm feeling angry and you're doing your thing. Anger goes away. So this is what is in the now moment. So manifesting versus surrendering. Presence is presence, bringing your presence, becoming one with what is, whether it's good or bad, desirable or undesirable. Now moment is being in the now moment, not projecting your fears in the future. Like, what if it never happens? What if what I want never happens? You don't know that. At this moment, it hasn't happened. Life can change very quickly. Next moment, it can. So our mind always, our ego wants to always think the worst. I think it's meant to protect us from danger or to prepare us, but it always tends to think the worst by default. So consciously, we have to train the mind to think in the positive way that it may not have thought before. It costs the same, right? Mind is a tool. If it can think destructive thoughts, and if it is a tool, I can train it to think constructive, positive thoughts. It costs the same. I feel better. So why not do it? Okay. And the next thing, what's the next thing that I wanted to share with you? Yes, it's along the line of manifestation. I love Joe Dispenza. I've listened to him, done his meditations. I think he's awesome. And one of the things is like living your future as if it has already happened. So your intentions is like one of the trick is to do it in the present tense as if it has already happened. It's like, for example, I am a millionaire. Thank you, God, for giving me $1 million. So what's the confusion with that? Our intention that is driven from the inside out is going to carry the energy and the vibration of the inner world, right? So the intention is not just giving it lip service. It's not saying, I'm a millionaire, but inside you're feeling, no, you're not. You can't even pay next month's rent. You don't even have money for that. So that's going to cause a problem. So the feeling of millionaire is not going to come from how many zeros are in the bank. Rather, it's going to come from your fundamental way of looking at life, that it is an abundant life, right? We associate that with the number of zeros in the bank. It's very practical. We need the zeros in the bank. But this work, it's the experience. You could feel like a millionaire even though you don't have the money. It's from looking at the abundant nature of life, right? Like in the springtime, everything is blooming. The sun is in abundance, the breeze, the elements, the nature, there's a lot of abundance. And when we, go look around our home, there's a lot that we can be grateful for. But to pretend to live our future as if it has happened now in the present tense, it has to be internally driven. Why it becomes hard for people is if we haven't done the inner work to clean the inner terrain, then we're carrying that lack mentality, then we're carrying that negative vibration, the experiences, the beliefs that don't go anywhere, that we're carrying that with us, and we are superimposing on it this rule that live as if that your intention has already materialized. So that creates a conflict. So my whole point of talking about this is, I know that we have become accustomed to getting, instant gratification. We want to know what to do. We want everything right away. We want a quicker way. We want the easiest way. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think there are any easy routes to this. We have to do the deeper healing work. if the inner environment, your body, your tissues are marinated in the past trauma, the negative energies, the dark energies, the old beliefs, the programming, we have to clean that up first. We have to do the deeper healing work. Otherwise, I don't care what manifestation tool you're using or what intentions you have. They just don't have the weight underneath them. They just don't have the power underneath them because it's not coming from the inside out. It's a mental layering that we put over, pretending that we're not feeling the way that we're feeling. So universe doesn't give us what we want, it gives us who we are. What is that telling you? That's telling you that we have to look inside. We have to look at the inner makings of our own inner psyche as to how do you really feel from moment to moment? What are the thoughts that are going on in your head? Where are they coming from? We need to clean that up. That's the healing work. Okay. So why there's so much talk about the healing work, the healing work, the healing work? Everywhere you turn around, there's so many healing modalities, this advice, that advice. So it's a good thing and it can be a bad thing. New knowledge, information, there's most people can access, it's always a good thing. But sometimes with so much information, we can overcomplicate things. We are moving into coming from age of innocence, the Piscean age, to age of awareness. Awareness can be a pain in the butt. It can also be wonderful, but it can also be very painful because now you know things that you kind of wish you didn't know, right? But it's a good thing that at least now you know, now you can see how you can shift that. So in this age and time, as we are, already in the 5D, living in a love-based realm, anything that is not in congruence with that is going to come up to the level of our awareness. And even if we want to ignore it, we actually can't ignore it because it causes inner chaos. It causes anguish, anxiety, depression. And that's why you see these kind of issues are becoming more and more prevalent, is because the world is telling, we're telling them, you can heal, you are this human being. We are moving into this new 5D, multidimensionality, all of your possible potentials and imagine and manifest and whatnot. But the inner environment is still marinated in the old paradigms. That actually creates more of a gap. It's like, is something wrong with me? How are people doing all of this? But I'm being dragged by the past. We have to clean up the past. We have to up the vibration of the past, heal it, put it in a book, and put it away until we heal it. Healing has so many different words for it. Healing means to metabolize it, to digest the experiences that we didn't know how to digest. So we have to digest those experiences because now we know to. Without digesting those experiences are going to create toxins in our psychological world, in our inner psyche, in our subconscious. No matter how much efforting we do, that subconscious is going to drag us down because it actually is going to trump every effort and blindside you and sabotage all of your good intentions because it's like the garbage bin we have not emptied out. So that's the inner healing work. From where I stand and from what I see, from how I live my life, you become more and more aware of the world around you. And I see this in my practice day in, day out. I think it will serve every single human being to do the inner healing work. everyone needs to do it. And it doesn't have to be a big undertaking. It doesn't have to take you decades to heal. It's like, the basement has been closed for so long. You have to open the windows, clean out all the cobwebs and the dust, and rearrange things and throw things away. So it can fuel, it can be a strong foundation for the rest of the home. So your inside and the outside can align. So it doesn't have to take us decades. It doesn't even have to take us a year. We just have to say yes and begin to do the work. So we don't heal intellectually. We actually have to heal somatically, because the experiences, when I say somatically, it's another new word that's going around. It's healing the body. The energy of the experiences is embedded in the tissues. That's where we have to heal it from. Meditation it's an ancient, effective tool. They didn't even call it a healing tool, but now we are calling it that. It's because it's a healing tool. It's a tool to metabolize all the experiences from the body, and you don't even have to know you're doing it. Did you know that the yoga practice was to prepare the body for the meditation? So here's how meditation works. You let go of the mind, you let go of the body. You move beyond the mind and the body, so the body can let go. In order for healing to happen, we have to step out of the way. We can't say, okay, come on, heal from my lungs. We actually have to go beyond the lungs, so the lungs can relax and let go whatever it was holding. So meditation is a way to somatically heal the past trauma and the experiences that have not been healed. All right. And so with that, and I think also, our life has become so complex. In the simpler days, I think the whole life was meditating. There were less distractions. Life was simpler. People sat around doing kind of nothing, eating, cooking, simple household chores, or walking. The whole life was so simple. In this day and time where life has become so complex, we have to consciously, deliberately meditate. So it's an antidote to the fast life. And also, to continue to simplify your life is a conscious effort to look at what's not working for you. You don't want to be swept away with this trend or with that trend. You don't want to go where everybody's going. You want to pull back to what makes sense to you. So it's a conscious effort to keep your life simple, to keep your life, to keep living with the higher perspective, to live in a way that is serving you, serving those around you, and hopefully serving the people. People, even more and more people, if that's possible. So it's a deliberate effort to take time to sit quietly so you can keep your wits about you and stay sane. So with that, I'm going to end, but I want to invite you to a couple of links in the comments that I will post. One is Meditations for Deep Healing. So there's this 3-month kind of a membership, the very Netflix style cost, which you have your own online access, online portal. There are 21 guided meditations for your healing journey. 21 meditations, do one every day, you repeat. Then once you feel ready, you can do these 5 soul journeys, and the whole membership is just these 26 meditations. Inside that, you have an opportunity to share if you want to share, just inside that membership. Ask questions, because I'll come back there and answer your questions. So I keep guiding you if that's what you need. So take a look at that. It says Meditations for Deep Healing. You have access to everything for 3 months, but you can also download all the meditations for lifetime usage, okay? The second is Inner Compass Club membership. That is based off of my second book called Wake Up and Heal, 6 Steps to Emotional Freedom. So I start with teaching you the 6 steps in short, teachable videos, meditations, and workbooks. But then this is going to carry on. I'm adding more content as it becomes available to me, as I think it's needed. So you kind of stay with the membership as long as you want to. You can cancel anytime. But the new content is always going to be there, so I can continue to guide you on your path of healing, spirituality, evolution, personal growth. Is really endless world. Our inner world is endless. How can one stop getting to know oneself, right? It's an endless lifelong journey. So that membership, Inner Compass Club, is also there. And the cost is so low, it's going to blow you away. I kept it deliberately because I just want this to reach more and more people. And these are teachings that, that are going to serve you lifelong, that you can take with you, that are going to empower you. People who have joined the memberships, they're loving it. So the links will be in the bio, not in my bio, in the comments. And if you do want to work with me individually, in the comment, please write waitlist. That way I can make sure that I get you on the schedule. All right, I'll put that link for the individual program as well in the comments. So if any of this made sense to you, what did you think about my explanation about the manifesting versus surrendering? What did you think about, what is your interpretation of the present moment and staying in the present moment and the now? And how do you create space and time in your life to stay sane? How do you stay true to yourself, but still live in this world, but don't get swept away in it? I would love your feedback, your comments, and thank you so much for watching. I look forward to joining you again next week. Thank you so much.